Mornings with Jaresha is a radio show and podcast here to equip, empower, and elevate you to the next level by helping you win your mornings and win your day with inspiration and motivation so you can wake, slay, pray, and take action. Today is a fabulous day to be great, have great, and do great. You just have to be willing to unleash your greatness and take action. This show is for everyone from all walks of life who just simply want to feel empowered and motivated to take the next step. Now, let's get it. Let's go. Mornings with Jaresha begins now. Welcome and welcome back to the Mornings with Jaresha show. So, it is another great day. On this show, it's all about executing on your goals, your dreams, and walking into your purpose. And I always say that I want you to be able to win your morning and win your day. And we do that through inspiration, through motivation, and certainly through feeling empowered. And so we're just going to jump right in today. It is an exciting day because one, this is another opportunity that you woke up this morning. You woke up this morning, you're listening and you're ready. It's maybe your morning, your afternoon, or perhaps it's your evening. However, you had an opportunity today to work on you. You have another opportunity to really be able to wake, pray, and slay your day. So, we're going to jump right into the breakfast breakdown. I'm excited about the breakdown because each and every day it's just one of those things that I'm just thinking about what is it that I'm loving, what am I learning, and what is really making me feel empowered. And so I invite you as you listen to this breakfast breakdown today to think about your own breakfast breakdown. I can tell you that since I started doing this, which was several months back, it has really been just an amazing reflection each and every day. Even so much to where not only am I doing this throughout the week, but I find myself doing this on the weekend as well. And it's really one of those things that's really making me feel empowered. But let's jump in. Let's jump in. Let's jump in. Today, what I am loving, y'all, what I'm loving is this power of self discovery and really being able to assess. So, if you've been tuning into the show, you've heard me talk about this journey of just walking into a new chapter, embracing a new chapter of becoming, and how I have truly enjoyed that. Well, today I am just loving it because it's not something that I just embrace one time. It is one of those things that I am revisiting every single day. And when we think about just the idea of self discovery through, whatever kind of assessments, evaluations that you may be utilizing or maybe you're not using, I would highly encourage you to use some kind of assessment evaluation because it really helps you to really get more insight on who you are. It helps you to understand yourself better. And there's so many different tools and resources out there. I mean, like literally, if you just hopped on Google and typed in, self discovery, assessment, there's personality tests. I mean, when I tell you there's all types of tools and resources out there, so there's no excuse for one. If you if you have never uh, completed an evaluation, done a test, assessment of yourself, then don't let that be the reason. Hop into Google, type it in, and then find one that's really going to work best for you. But I'm loving this journey as I just continue to, really look at my strengths, look at the areas that I am growing, and then, really those traits that I bring to the table that really make me who I am. And so even though I told you my chapter that I'm celebrating and walking into is chapter 45. And so we may think that as we get older, especially once we get into a certain age, that that assessment, just stops, or we stop assessing. Guess what? You never stop learning stuff about yourself. I mean, like, it's a day-to-day thing. It is a day-to-day process. And so I'm really, really loving this. I'm still embracing it. Yes, it hasn't been that long, but technically it has, because I started this whole journey of becoming my chapter 44. So it has been a journey, and it's been the most rewarding journey for me. It has definitely been just truly amazing. So I'm just loving it. I'm loving it. Now, I'm not necessarily the person that's going to hop on Google and just keep taking all these different kinds of assessments. And, like, that's not what I do. So when I say, assessment, I'm saying, find the tools if you have already done so. A lot of times we may take tools, we may take assessments through like a job, and then we never revisit that. Or somebody may say, oh, take this personality test, or and we never really dive into what that means. So if you've ever taken one and you haven't had the opportunity to sit down with it and really start unpacking it, then I highly encourage you to do that. It's like I said, it's the most rewarding experience. I have learned so much about myself, and I continue to learn more. So it's exciting stuff. It really is. It's exciting stuff. And so, even though that's my loving and that's my learning, but my learning today is, it's a little different from the self discovery and assessment. I am learning the impact of saying one thing and doing another. Can I tell you? And whether you're on the side of the person that's saying one thing and then doing another, or you're on the flip side of it, or someone has said something to you and has done another. I feel like we have been on both sides of that, right? And many of us may still be on that, but I want to really approach it from a different standpoint. And that is, you're the one saying it. You're saying one thing and doing another, because this whole idea is one of the things that, I like to talk about on this show, and how we have to be intentional and not just kind of going throughout our day and just kind of going with the flow, but being intentional about the things that not just we're telling other people, but also the things that we're telling ourselves, the narrative. So I'm not talking about like the negative narrative. I'm talking about the things that we said we're going to do, and then when it comes down to it, we don't do it. So when in my mind, I'm thinking of like the gym. Yes, you probably knew I was going to say the gym, or working out, exercising. That thing that you continue to say that you're going to do and you haven't done it. Yes, you know what I mean. So I am learning the impact of saying one thing and doing another, saying one thing and doing another. And so I'm going to ask you to write a list of the items that you have said and then you've done another. A lot of times we're so quick to point the finger at somebody else. Be a person of your word. Don't say this and do this. However, are you a person of your word? When you say to yourself, I'm going to do this, I'm going to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to go to the gym in the morning, are you a person of your word? We think that because the fact that it's an appointment, a meeting, something that we put on our own schedule, that doesn't really have an impact because it's us. Well, guess what? It does. I'm here to tell you that it absolutely does. So I am really learning the really, like, the disconnect and the difficulties that really come up when our actions don't align with our words. Your actions, my actions, they have to align with your words. And it's such a lesson, right? It is a lesson on integrity. It is a lesson on being consistent. When we say one thing but do another, it can really lead to misunderstanding within ourselves, the mistrust, and missed opportunities. So I am really kind of walking into this thing to where I'm being very intentional, really paying attention to those appointments, those things that I'm, saying I'm going to do. And then when it come down to it, you know how, things kind of get in the way, and we have so much stuff on our schedule that we may forget about it, and it's not really priority. So we have to really be mindful. We have to be mindful of what we're doing, what we're saying. It is, and making sure that we're focused on aligning actions with intentions, and ensuring that, those things, those deeds truly reflect our words. It is such a powerful step. It is such a powerful step, y'all. It is a powerful step towards, really gaining trust and building within ourselves. So I just talked about the self-discovery and assessment. And if when I tell you, it's like this is kind of like going in order, because as you assess, as you evaluate who you are and the things that you're doing and not doing, let that be one of the things that kind of brings that you bring to your mind. Like, am I saying things and doing another? And I can almost say yes, because it's this was like the same discovery within myself. And I'm always on my kids and everyone else on how important it is to be a person of your word. Well, guess what? It is so important to be a person of your word, even when it applies to you. You have to be a person of your word. So, the next thing is what is making me feel empowered. And I'll tell you, I don't know that I've talked about this on the show before. And if I have, it's only been, very, very little. But I made a decision. So right after, I think it was during 2020, I made a decision about removing, pulling my kids out of the school system, the brick and mortar school system. And I made a huge decision to have them do, homeschooling. And when I tell you, this homeschooling, just the idea of homeschooling, it's definitely been one of those things that, I'm loving. I'm learning. Even till this day, I'm still learning a lot. But I'll tell you, I'm really feeling empowered about it. So I have two kids that has, gone through the homeschooling program. And it's truly a program because it's very much structured, So I say, if you're interested in homeschooling, make sure you do your homework and, find what's going to work best for you and your, really for your child. So I have had two that's graduated out of homeschooling, and I have a child now that one, one more that is still in the homeschooling. And I'm really just loving and embracing this homeschooling, this journey and my experience. It's been an adventure. With anything, it's an adventure, full of challenges and rewards. But I'm really amazed, and I continue to be amazed by just the creativity, the teachers, the virtual teachers, and my experience as being a learning coach just throughout this whole process. And it has really been a it's really been one of those experiences that has opened my eyes to just the possibilities of what technology can do, and how I've been able to see the growth in even my two that has since graduated, from high school through the homeschool program, and how it's prepared them for college, and how the conversations that I've had and that I have with them about the program that they were in, and how it really has helped them. There's so many different benefits, and of course with anything there's the benefits, and there's those things that we may say, oh, but this is the piece that is maybe not be the best. And I hate to always put it as pros and cons, but with anything, there's your pros and your cons. And so, one of the pieces that often a lot of people struggle with, as far as parents and kids, is the social aspect of it. But when I tell you, there's so many different resources out there to really capture and get that social interaction for your child. So um I'm really feeling empowered about, the decision to do that years ago, and I'm still feeling empowered about it. Again, I say, if you're considering homeschooling or, currently on this path, know that that it's a journey of empowerment and discovery, not just for you as a parent, as a learning coach, but also for your child. And so I really, really have to step into that thing every single day. So every day I'm feeling empowered. This is probably one of those things with homeschooling, now that we're back in school, that, I'm loving, I'm learning, I'm feeling empowered. And I'll tell you, the biggest thing that I really enjoy about the homeschooling is the flexibility of being able to travel with my daughter. Like, so at this point, wherever I go, she can go with me and have her schooling. And it just works. It absolutely works. And there's so many different benefits too. Some of the things that I've heard, that's going on in the school district, like in our area and everything else, I'm just like, those are not worries or stresses that I have as a parent, as a mom. So it just, again, I am really feeling empowered about our homeschool journey. And I love it. So I really hope that, some of the things that I've shared with you today, with my breakfast breakdown, helps you to really think about your own breakfast breakdown. I hope it really gives you that inspiration today that, that you may need. So let's jump into what I really want to talk about for today, because I didn't really want to draw today, out. I really wanted to make it, I'm going to bring the breakfast breakdown, get right to the point, and then I wanted to share some things with you, and then really let you go and, enjoy the rest of your day, and start executing on your goals, your dreams, and really walking into your purpose. And so I've been thinking about this thing, and this is kind of like a spin-off, kind of, from the last episode. So if you didn't listen to the last episode, make sure you go back and listen, because I talked about unlocking your maximum potential and looking at those unfinished projects, just because that's something that we definitely need to do. So today I wanna dive into, just continue this conversation on unlocking your maximum potential. But the question is your glass half empty or half full? Mm. I feel like we've heard this question before. Many of us may have even asked ourselves this question: is your glass half empty or half full? And although this is a simple question, I think it really holds a powerful key to our success and happiness. So, your answer to this question not only reflects your outlook, but I mean, like, your outlook on life and business, but it also influences your approach to challenges and opportunities. So I want to share, like I always share, 3 points, right? 3 points to help you really harness the potential of a positive mindset. And I'm going to share, as I always do, I like quotes, y'all. So I'm going to share a few quotes with y'all too today. But I really wanted to dive into this because, for me, this whole idea of unlocking your maximum potential, which is me really leading up to sharing with y'all, some amazing news that I have coming, and that stems from my book, Unlocking Your Maximum Potential, a 30-day devotion for the boss CEO. And so I wanted to do it a little different, as I shared last show. I'm just, I'm not going to just get on here and say, you know what, go get the book, be a part. I really wanted to approach it from a different perspective and really give you a different perspective as well. And so, is your glass half empty or half full, y'all? Half empty or half full? So here's what I'll tell you, that for me, when I think about that, it's about embracing that growth, right? The growth mindset, And as we think about what a growth mindset is, because I think there's always these things that we hear often, have a growth mindset, we want to be growing, if you step outside of your comfort zone, then you're growing. And so when we think about growth mindset, it is really that belief that the abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work. And so the mindset, it's all about it, like it breeds resilience and passion for learning, right? And those are essential components of unlocking your potential. So let me tell you, I am friends with someone that who dreamed of being a doctor, right? So she actually struggled with her grades when we were in school, and she felt a lot of doubt. Okay, you know how we always do. Like she just felt an overwhelming, overwhelming doubt that came in because of the fact that she struggled. Now I said that she really wanted to. She dreamed about being a doctor, and so she could have decided, you know what, I my grades aren't good. I'm not going to push forward. But instead of giving up, she saw these challenges as opportunities for her to grow. Now, she actually not just seen the challenges, but she started reaching out and getting help, so that, like, getting tutors, so that she could be successful in school, right? So, and not only did she do that, but she also changed her studying habits and techniques, and she completely dedicated herself, completely, because a lot of times we don't do that. Like, we're dedicated 15% depending on the day, we're dedicated maybe 50% depending on how we feel. We're not giving 100%, right? We're not giving ourselves fully to our goals, we're not giving ourselves fully to our dreams, we're not giving ourselves fully to walking into our purpose. So I'll tell you, fast forward years later, because she made that decision, she is a respected physician. And attributing to her success, not to, innate talent, but to her unwavering dedication and believing in the power of growth. We have to be willing to embrace the growth mindset, even when doubt comes in, because it's going to. Even when we're dealing with all of the other limiting beliefs that stand in our way and the struggles that we may have, we have to continue to push forward and say, you know what, by any means necessary, any means necessary, like there is no other option. By any means necessary, I'm going to move forward. Like, I'm not going to allow anything to come in and remove my focus. And I think that again, that goes back to when I talked about in the breakfast breakdown of assessing and understanding where we're at, so that we know how we can move forward, so that we know how we can continue to grow. See, success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. And that is Winston Churchill that said that. Is that not just that right there is truly amazing and powerful when we think about the idea of, is your glass half full or is it half empty? So when we're faced with the challenge, we have to ask ourselves, what can I learn from this? What can I learn from this? It is really about shifting your focus from those struggles, those problems, to the potential lesson and the lessons that fosters growth and resilience, because perception shapes reality. So, the second point that I'm going to give you today is how we need to cultivate gratitude and positive thinking. Now, I think, again, these are one of those things, like, you've heard it before. You know how important it is, right? Our perception significantly influences our mental and emotional well being. So, positive thinkers are generally, they're going to lead healthier, more productive lives, because they're consistently choosing to see the good in every situation. So let me give you another story. This is not someone that I know, but you know how this is a story that I know the person that knows the person. So This person just so happens to be a he has a farm. Okay, so he has a farm, and he has a pretty big farm. Like, it's a farm that, like a family generational farm. And during, I don't know what year it was, but several years back, he happened to lose some of his crops due to flooding. And if you can imagine, okay, as a farmer, and knowing that you have a whole complete family that you have to take care of, and that that is the business, that's the family business, that's how you put food on the table, that is, because of the fact that you have these crops that you're then selling. And so to imagine this, that this is your business, this is your family, and for it to be, for really, this is really very tragic for, for the family, or it was during that time, for a flood to just completely just knock out, remove, just completely, just completely come in, and within a matter of weeks, uh just mess up all of what you've built, right? So it's devastating, right? It's devastating. And I'll tell you, like, this farmer and his family could have looked at it and said, you know what? All the hard work, all of the blood, the sweat, the tears, everyone's blood, sweat, and tears that's gone into, the farm being what it is. He could have said that. It could have been his immediate reaction. However, I'll tell you what he did. He chose a different route. He chose to use gratitude and saw it as an opportunity. See, the flood enriched his soil with nutrients from the river. And so it paving the way for an even more like bountiful harvest the following season. So do you hear what I'm saying? That a lot of times we have floods that come in, we have storms that come in, we have obstacles, we have all kinds of things that come in. And it's how we respond to it, it's how we look at it, it's how us, it's our ability to look at it and say, you know what, oh my goodness, this is not a good situation. I'm devastated. What are we going to do? Like, to have that, oh, woe is me attitude and just be defeated. It's that defeated attitude. We can choose to have a defeated attitude, or we can choose to look at it like how this farmer did and say, you know what? Guess what? The next harvest is going to be even bigger, it's going to be even greater the next following season. So it was his ability to focus on the positive that turned, a potential disaster into a significant advantage. You see, gratitude turns what we have into enough. I need y'all to really marinate on that. Gratitude turns what we have into enough. Mm. When I tell you, when I tell you, practicing gratitude each and every day, whether you have a journal, whether you're, writing things down that you're grateful for, it is a powerful, powerful gesture that you can do each and every day, because this practice is going to train your mind to focus on and appreciate the positives in your life, right? And so when we do that, it's going to enhance that overall happiness and well-being. Yes. Oh my goodness. That is just, really think about that and put that in perspective for your own. Although you're not a farmer, I'm not a farmer either, but I can tell you there's been some storms that's come in that can be, potential disasters. I can tell you there's been, things that just in our day to day, whether it's life, whether it's business, that can completely just knock you down if you allow it to. So the third point that I'm going to give you, the third and final point, is break free from limiting beliefs. And there's that idea of the limiting beliefs again. When I tell you, the fact that we hear this, the fact that I'm saying it, and I probably say it every single show, I'm sure I do, but the fact that you're hearing it and you hear it often should tell you something. It should definitely tell you something. So, these limiting beliefs, these self doubts, these negative thoughts, they keep us from reaching our potential. And I'm talking about, unlocking your maximum potential. It keeps you from it. I don't know if sometimes we don't recognize that, or we have a hard time understanding that, but it definitely keeps us from moving forward. It keeps us from really unlocking our maximum potential, walking into our greatness. And so it's important for us to really identify and challenge all of these beliefs, because it's crucial for your growth. It's crucial for your personal and professional growth. So I have another story, y'all. I have another story. And this is really a story that you can put yourself in, because we all do this so often. We all have talents, we all have gifts. And for whatever reason, we doubt our talents, we doubt our gifts, and it may keep us stagnant. So I have another friend who is an amazing artist. I mean, absolutely just super talented artist, to the point like next level artist, to where she can sell her paintings, like next level. Absolutely phenomenal. And she doubted her talents. Like she doubted it to the point where she was sitting on painting after painting that she hadn't sold. So she made a decision to say, you know what, I'm going to, put my paintings out there. But yet she doubted her talents. So, which to me is, I mean, think about that. Think about how we all do that in some way, shape, or form. We, say, oh, I'm gonna launch this, I'm gonna launch this business, yet we have those doubts that it's not gonna work. We're gonna write a book, but guess what, it's not gonna work. So we may start the process, but because of the fact that our mindset is not lining up with truly our actions, and the fact that we do not believe in our own abilities. So let me go back to the artist. She hadn't sold any of her artwork, and she had a friend. Hint hint, she had a friend who encouraged her, who empowered her, and suggested to her, why don't she, showcase her work at like a local fair. um and so she started looking into some of the fairs that was in the area. And what do you know? Not only did she start looking into the fairs, but she started working with someone, hint, hint, that really helped her on that journey of recognizing her potential, recognizing her greatness, and getting rid of those those the self doubt, getting rid of those limiting beliefs. So the fortunate thing about this story is that the result was that she actually started selling her artwork, and she received multiple offers. And so this experience shattered her limiting belief, and it was able to really propel her to, a new artistic like heights that she had never stepped into before. So, the only limit to our realization of tomorrow is our doubts of today. And that is by Franklin D. Roosevelt. That's so powerful. What limits are you putting on yourself? What doubts are you putting on yourself? And could that be the reason why you are not stepping into who you want to be? Could that be the reason why you're not, you haven't walked into your greatness? You haven't stepped into, or could that be the reason why your business hasn't taken off, or the reason why you haven't finished that book? There's so many ways that we limit ourselves. So whenever you catch yourself thinking, I can't, we have to reframe that to I can and I will. And we have to practice this each and every day until there's like a mental switch that comes on, right? Until that mental switch is like second nature for us. That is going to empower yourself to push beyond those self imposed beliefs and those self imposed limits. So let me tell you, because I said I wasn't going to, I can talk about this thing all day long and turn this into, from being a podcast to, like a whole entire 4 hour workshop for you. And I'm not gonna do that. But here's what I'm gonna do as I really end this thing today. I need you to really hear me and hear me good. You have got to understand that life is not about whether the glass is half empty or half full. It's about realizing that you hold the picture. You hold the picture. You have the power to keep pouring, to keep filling your glass with passion, effort, and perseverance until it overflows. So you are not defined by your circumstances, but by your attitude and your relentless pursuit of greatness. You have dreams that you're waiting, right? You have dreams that you're not moving on, I should say. You have dreams that are waiting for you though. They're waiting for you to chase them. They're waiting for you. So what are you waiting for? What are you waiting on? You have to get up and take action. You have not just dreams that are waiting for you to chase them, but there's mountains that is waiting to climb and victories to savor. So don't let a have empty mindset steal your joy, or keep you, or stall your progress. You have to be willing to really stand tall, to be grateful each and every day, right? To be grateful in each and every single drop in that glass, and pour into it with everything you've got, because success isn't a destination, it is a journey. Do you hear me when I say success isn't a destination, it's a journey? It's about showing up every day with a full heart, ready to give your best. So hear me when I say, I started off asking, is your glass half empty or is your glass half full? And I think that's a simple question, but it's very powerful. But I need you to know that it's time for you to rise up. It's time for you to rise up, unlock your maximum potential, and let the world see you shine. This power is in your hands, and there is no limit. There's no limit to what you can achieve. I wish you could feel that thing. I wish you could, not just feel that thing, but act accordingly. And that's the part that we struggle with. We struggle with, like, we will listen to podcast after podcast after podcast after podcast. Yet we're doing nothing. Yet we're sitting on information. We're not doing anything with the knowledge that we're getting. And so what I am simply telling you today is I've given you 3 points. Not just three, I really have given you 6 points today because I gave you a breakfast breakdown that helped you think about some things and really put stuff in perspective for your own breakfast breakdown. And I gave you keys today. Keys to help you think about that idea of, is your glass half empty or half full? I gave you the first key of embracing a growth mindset, the second key of cultivating gratitude and positive thinking, and the third and final key The third and final key, break free from limiting beliefs. Those are keys for you to sit down with yourself, as I say, and start assessing, start evaluating, start doing something. Don't continue to listen to pod after pod and not do something. I'm telling y'all what I know. I know this because the fact that I've been there. I've done it and I've done the action. So I truly hope that you're ready. I hope you're ready. I hope that you're ready to unlock your maximum potential. I hope you're ready to unlock your maximum potential and really ask yourself that question: is your glass half empty or half full? I hope you're ready to execute on your goals, your dreams, and walking into your purpose. Let's get
Let's
it.
go.
Let's go.
Thank you for listening to the Mornings with Jaresha show. Follow me on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube at Jaresha Moore. Email Jaresha at empoweredonpurpose.com and text 937-938-6373. And have a great day on purpose.